Hello and welcome to Breakfast All Day. I'm Matt. Alonso's here. So is Christy. Somebody should cry macho, but it won't be me because I didn't see the movie. It's the new Clint Eastwood movie. He's in it. He directs it. There is machismo, I suppose. Alonso, will tell you all about it because he is the most macho person that's ever been.
That's true. Alonso is the most macho of the three of us.
Yes, most macho. Alonso Duralde.
Premiering today in theaters and HBO Max. Yeah. So yeah, Cry Macho. You might think it's a dumb title, but macho is a cock, a fighting cock. That is. It's the name of a rooster. So it's an even dumber title because the rooster doesn't cry. It does crow, but crow macho wouldn't work, I guess. Anyway, Clint Eastwood, of course, stars as Mike. He is an over-the-hill rodeo star who has pretty much lost everything in his life. And his former boss, played by Dwight Yoakam, who runs a ranch, has an assignment for him. Please cross the border, go to Mexico, find my 13-year-old son that I had with a woman down there. I don't trust her as a parent. I want to take care of him and let him ride horses and do all the stuff. So Mike takes the gig, goes down there, finds out the mother is indeed a piece of work, but of course, not so much a piece of work that she doesn't want to like seduce Clint Eastwood, because women in these movies always want to seduce Clint Eastwood. Nonetheless, he finds the boy who is played by, sorry, I don't have, who does these credits on IMDb? They're
very messed up.
They're literally burying the lead. Eduardo Menez plays Raffo, who has been surviving on his own, living on the streets, doing cockfights with his rooster Macho. At first is not down for this, but likes the idea of having a horse and getting away from Mexico City. So he agrees to go. The mother, however, not having it, sends her goons after these guys. So it's just chase. They wind up in a small town somewhere where Clint makes eyes with the local diner owner who doesn't speak English until she does speak English. Things are learned along the way and people learn to trust. And Clint tells the kid that machismo is kind of a dead end. And this is not great. I'm not the biggest Clint Eastwood fan in general. This one though felt really meandering and all over the place. This is, you can divide his movies into certain categories. And I think this is the mentor category, where Clint and a younger person like bristle at each other and then they bond and they learn things, Honky Tonk Man, $1 Million Baby, this is a theme that's come up in his work before. I didn't find this one super compelling. I really want to hear from Latino critics about the way he portrays Mexico and people who live there.
Like he fetishizes it somehow.
That, and also just, the corruption and the violence and whatnot. I don't know. I was not down for this. It never drew me in. I didn't really care about what happened to Eastwood's character. You do want the kid to be okay, but there don't seem to be a lot of options there. I don't know. I was unengaged by this. So how about you, Christy?
I liked it better than I thought I was going to. And that's a lot about expectations, I think. First of all, the title, Cry Macho. It sounds like a Troy McClure version of a Clint Eastwood movie.
Yes.
You might remember me from such movies as Cry Macho and Gladys, the Groovy Mule. I mean, it sounds like a fake Clint Eastwood movie. But, it's got some moments of grace. And after all these years, he is still a really efficient filmmaker. So this is an hour and 45 minutes and it gets right to it real fast. Chris was sitting in here making lunch and getting ready for his day while I was watching it. And there's such an exposition dump off the top.
Oh, my God.
Where Clint walks in. The first scene, Clint walks into Dwight Yoakam's office and he's like, here's who I am and here's who you are. Here's what's going to happen. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but this is essentially what happens. And they get right to it. Part of it, I'm thankful that it takes place in 1980 because there is no room for like Viagra jokes. There's no room for cell phones, no room for like old people can't figure out cell phones, and also no room for like, wacky Viagra jokes. The woman who he falls for, the cantina owner and the quaint Mexican town, strangely looks a lot like his ex-wife Dina, but also is not just like the sweet and doting Mexican woman. Like she's got a spine and she's kind of a smart ass. And so I like that they give her a little more shading to her character than you might expect in like a potentially, like a caricature of like the kind-hearted Mexican woman who takes him in. There's more to her than that.
Not a lot more to her, but
not a lot more to her.
Some.
There is some lovely imagery here. It's shot by Ben Davis, who also shot 3 Billboards and Guardians and Captain Marvel and Doctor Strange. So some of the sunsets are quite lovely. And there's a shot of Clint Eastwood like lying down for a nap as the sun is setting, and like he's in silhouette. Like you see him taking off his hat, and like you can see the tufts of hair against the setting sun. And so there's some quite lovely imagery, but he's very much playing the hits here. And it's got pieces of, as you mentioned, $1 Million Baby, but also Bronco Billy. There's also got some Every Which Way But Loose in it, and that he gets to like do some comedy with animals. It's got some grand. What's that?
Clyde shows up.
There's not Clyde, but Macho kind of functions as a Clyde figure along the way. Yeah. I mean, he
Clyde
definitely
passed away, by the way.
Oh, but like Macho steps up in a Clyde-like manner when called upon. It's also got some it's got some Gran Torino in it. In that you have,
that's another mentor movie.
It's a mentor movie, but it's also in that it reminded me of that, in that you have a young actor who is a little stiff, who is not really up for the nuance that he's called upon to summon, and that creates an awkwardness.
Yeah, he's not as comfortable with acting, basically. It's got some of the Mule in it. I mean, it's written by the same guy who wrote Gran Torino and the Mule, right? And co-written by the guy who wrote the novel this is based on, that came out in the 70s.
So our friend Kenny Turan, longtime former LA Times critic Kenny Turan, did a whole big piece on Clint Eastwood in the calendar section this past Sunday. And basically what Eastwood was saying was that he had wanted to make this movie like 30 years ago. This came to him like in the late 80s, and he felt like he wasn't old enough yet. And now that he's like 91, now he's like too old, but he's still spry. He still has like a presence about him, and he's very aware of like giving the people what they want. And so, there's a scene where he's got a gun trained on somebody, and he's like, "Don't move, asshole." He's doing the things that you want Clint Eastwood to do.
Yeah, he punches a guy in the face. He
rides a horse. He punches a guy in the face. He gets to slow dance with a lovely woman. I mean, it's a greatest hits kind of thing. So if this is indeed his last film, who knows? I mean, maybe it is. It's got a little something for everybody. If you've been a fan of his movies over the years,
give us a Dirty Harry movie where he's in his 90s.
Right.
He's out to beat. Manuel de Oliveira is a Portuguese filmmaker who is making films into his hundreds. And so I think Eastwood is like, I gotta beat that guy.
You know what? It's gentle. It is meandering for sure. And it doesn't have any of the poignancy or emotional oomph that I suspect it's aiming for, but it's gentle and it has some lovely scenes and some comedy. All the stuff with him when the animals kind of crack me up.
I mean, I didn't hate this. He is a competent craftsman, and he always will be. And so, like, he's not going to put out something that's like slapped together, even though he is famous for liking one take. But even like among sort of latter day Eastwood films, I just found it really kind of negligible. I mean, at least in the he doesn't have any 3-ways. He had 2 of them in The Mule, if you'll recall. But it's just kind of like, I don't know. I'm glad he's active, and I'm glad that he's out. I'm a big believer in people not being sent out to pasture. Certainly you look at the generation before him, like the Billy Wilders of the world, reach a certain age and could not get hired anymore. And so like I'm sure Eastwood probably has somebody shadowing him for insurance purposes. But like if he can still do this in his 90s, more power to him. But make something more interesting than this.
And use Dwight Yoakam more effectively. Dwight Yoakam can be a great actor.
He can, but he doesn't get much to do here.
Nope. So I'm saying 5.9.
I said 5?
You said 5.5.
All right, 5.5.
You want to change
I'll
that?
stick with that. No, it's fine.
So 5.7 is our number. Cry Macho is on HBO Max. If you are an Eastwood completist, it's a pleasant way to pass the time.
Mm-hmm. And it's even in theaters, but because I guess if you're trying to sell a movie to right-wing people who don't have a problem with going into crowded spaces, then this is the movie to sell them.
This does not have any kind of overt political stance.
No,
though,
it does
Alonso.
not. It does not. I will be fair, but come on. Who are we talking about? Thanks for watching, you guys. Like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us at BeFastAllDay on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/BeFastAllDay. A lot of fun stuff exclusively for our subscribers. Our recaps of Ted Lasso. We're kicking off the Morning Show season 2 this week. And if you like watching videos like this, but don't want those pesky commercials, go check them out over at our Patreon page, which is also where they get posted first. So that's patreon.com/BeFastAllDay. We hope you'll join us. Thanks for being here today. Have a good day. Have a good week. Take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll see you next time. Bye.